You get yourself to do things that you don't want to do. Today, I want to talk to you real quick about motivation and energy, especially as it pertains to something like exercise. But this can be applied to quite literally any habit you want to insert here, whether that's yoga, crochet, writing, walking, dinner, cooking for yourself, etc. The common trap that we fall into when we want to begin a new habit or do something good for ourselves is we will allow how we feel in the current moment to dictate what decision we make, whether or not we engage with that habit or activity. And the problem with this approach, as you can probably attest as a working professional, a parent, or a busy person, is that more often than not, in the current moment, you're probably feeling tired. You're exhausted. You didn't sleep well. You had a long day at work. Your mental bandwidth is shot. Your body doesn't feel great. You want to stay on the couch. I get that because I am that person from time to time. As a parent, as a working professional, it's not like I have abundant energy more than anyone can find. However, what we can do to get around this very understandable urge to give in to our current state and our current feelings is to think about how you're going to feel after you have completed the exercise, after you have completed the walk, after you have cooked dinner for yourself. Will you feel energized? Will you feel motivated? Will you feel proud? Will you feel accomplished? Will you feel productive? Whatever the feeling is that you're going to get after the activity, let that dictate whether or not you engage with it. It's a really simple shift here, but I want you to completely abandon the notion that how you feel in the current moment is going to dictate what you end up doing. It's irrelevant to the conversation. It's usually going to be fatigue, some degree of fear, some degree of stress, some degree of overwhelm, and you're never going to do what you need to do for yourself. Instead, think about how you will feel afterwards, because I promise, especially for an activity like exercise, after you're finished doing it, you're never going to say, wow, I really regret that I got that walk in, or I really regret that I did 20 minutes of weights or 20 minutes on the treadmill. In fact, you're probably going to feel phenomenal, and I don't want you to forget that. So next time you feel unmotivated or you feel tired, those feelings likely aren't going to go away. We're going to deal with those until the day that we die. They're normal parts of the human experience, and especially if you're spending most of your day at a desk or at a job, you're going to get the crumbs of energy at the end of the day for yourself. That's okay. We're not going to allow those feelings to dictate what we do for ourselves. Instead, we are going to make a conscious decision of, how do I want to feel right now instead? Well, I want to feel energized. I want to feel awake. I want to feel mobile and good. Okay, what activity will get you that thing? Well, if I do a 10-minute walk, if I do some kettlebell swings, if I do some push-ups, if I do some squats, I'll probably get there. Okay, you have just figured out what your priority is for the next thing that you're about to do. And to add on to this, I don't want you to forget, this is really, really overlooked, especially as it pertains to movement and exercise. The more you move your body and engage with activity consistently, the higher your base level of energy goes up. Think about that for a second. The more you exercise, the more you engage with movement consistently, the higher your base level of energy goes up. You build quite literally a bigger battery for yourself. It's one of the best byproducts of exercise. That now, instead of you feeling tired and fatigued by 12:30, you notice, oh wow, it's 2:00 and I haven't reached for a second cup of coffee. I don't really need it. Or it's 4:00 and I don't really need to sit down. I don't feel completely wiped or super tired. My energy is a lot more consistent than it usually is. That's not a mistake. That is an active byproduct of what happens when you start to move your body more consistently. So understand that you're not only helping yourself in the short term by manipulating how you feel and setting yourself up to feel better, you are also helping yourself long term. So now you're building a bigger battery. You have to worry less and less about feeling too tired to get through your day. And it just makes everything so much easier when you don't have to worry about whether or not your energy or motivation is going to be there when you need it. So next time you find yourself feeling unmotivated, feeling kind of tired, low energy, just ask yourself, how do I want to feel instead? What emotions do I want to be experiencing right now? Cool. You have that answer. Then ask yourself, What activity is going to get me those emotions or feelings? Cool. Now you know what you're going to be doing next to access those. Remember, we can't always control the emotions or thoughts that come into our body, but we do oftentimes have more control over our feelings than we think we do. And it starts with a very conscious choice to not let our current day emotions dictate whether or not we are taking the valued or aligned action that is best for ourselves. Peace.